Well, welcome everyone. Today, temperature's dropping and it's that time of the year that I have to put the plow back on the four-wheeler. Now, this particular model here, probably one of the best four-wheelers ever made. It's a 1999 Honda fourtrax 300 four-wheel drive four-wheeler. I mean, they made these for a couple years, quite a few years actually, and they're almost indestructible. People used and abused these machines for years, and you can still find some pretty clean models available. This one is in beautiful condition. It's a little dirty from sitting around in the barn, but other than that, you know, you just get on it and fire it right up and away you go. So I get quite a few questions about this plow and how this works, so I figured I'd make another video to show you what it does and how it works. All right, where do I want to start? Well, I guess the first part is, how do you control it? That would be the handle here to raise and lower it. Now, there are other options of how you could do this. You could have a winch mount, which would have a winch, and you control it either here or on the handlebar to raise and lower the winch, to raise and lower the plow blade. I had one like that. It was really nice. It was very precise, because sometimes this, you have to play with it a little bit to get exactly where you want for grading. And that was the nice part about the winch. You could be very precise. This is kind of like pick a position with this type of setup. It is very quick and easy, I will say, to just yank this and go. It does not weigh very much. Now, this is a cycle country plow. You know, they made a whole bunch of these back in the day, and you can find them here and there. Luckily, I was able to get this with the machine, and you can see it mounts down here to the case. And let's see. Here's the rod here to raise and lower it, and then it attaches again with a bracket here to the front end. So very little to it to really attach it, and that's that. Now, there is a skid plate part down below that has mounts for the pins on the bottom. Those pins are right here. So you line these horns up on the bottom of that, and it puts it right in there. So let me show you how this works. It's a piece of cake. I mean, this plow, it weighs 80 pounds maybe. Just lay it over back about there. Something to line that up with. Oh, I have one of these fancy clips on here. It always drives me nuts trying to put it on. Not forward to touch. Okay. That's the hardest part, is really getting the pin in. Well, actually the hardest part is probably putting that pin, or cotter pin, which is a really stupid cotter pin, in the right hole. And I got it. Holy cow. Can't believe I got that. That was luck. Now to this side. It's like I hit a piece of wood. Okay, let's get this off here. Now this should have a pin as well. I can put the nut on the other side, and that'll get me through for now until I remember to get an actual pin for this. You'd be kidding me. Okay, now that is all done, all we have to do is come around here to the front and grab this chain and hook this chain right to here. So that's a piece of cake. And it does, you do have to lift the plow ever so slightly. And I need to get a new clasp for that, but you'll get the gist of how this works. So there you have it. In a short period of time, just a couple minutes, the plow is on. What do I do? Pull that back, it locks in place, and now your blade is lifted. Cool thing about this plow, you can also shift it to either side. All you do is just pull that clasp in here, Now it kicks to either side. This thing is amazing. Now, some people say, oh, a 300 isn't going to have enough power. This thing has plenty of power. The problem is you run out of traction. So a bigger machine is going to weigh a little bit more. Therefore, you might get a little more traction and push a little better. But at some point, you might as well just buy a truck or a Jeep if you're going to, get too big of a machine. But that leads to another question. Is it worth having this over a plow truck? Well, let's take a ride and go see. So, typical Honda, one kick, she fires right up. Now this has electric start, battery's dead. I mean, I'm gonna have to get one of those for winter because I'm not gonna sit here and kick it. All right, so that's a good time getting around. Okay. The four-wheeler or the truck with a plow on it? Which one do you want to go with? Well, if you're plowing a big area, a long driveway, roads, any substantial amount of snow, ice, accumulation, yes, you're going to want a big old plow truck like this. And this thing's going to move a lot of snow. And it's going to do it very quickly and rather efficiently. However, if you're moving small storms, periodically, our driveway is like 350 feet long or so. This is perfect for almost all the storms we get. We get a few that are big, heavy ones, and okay, maybe we'll fire this guy up, or we'll use the backhoe. The backhoe is usually the alternative when we can't push this anymore, or we push our snowbanks back quite a ways and we can't move it anymore because this doesn't have the weight to push the banks back. Again, the truck can kind of just bust right through it and use its momentum and weight to push those back. To a point as well. Problem with the truck, this truck is kind of small for a truck, but it's still big, and when you get into tight areas you get stuck and you can't maneuver too well. This guy, you can maneuver everywhere with this thing and really get into the tight spots. If you plan your moves of where you want to put your snow at the very beginning of the season, you can push it way out of the way and then have plenty of room to keep adding to those piles, and they're out of your area and not a concern. So again, you're gonna have to decide, do I want a truck, which is a lot of maintenance and parts are expensive, fuel is expensive, especially today. I mean, that thing, it pretty much just sits here anymore, and kind of sad. That's a really cool Ford. I'm sure we'll get to fixing that thing up. Very rare that they have the Dana 60s in them. And well, big bad 1978 with a 77 grill. Back to the four-wheeler. This thing sips fuel. I'll probably go through maybe 8 gallons all winter long, and I'll plow quite a bit with it. I don't even know if I use that much fuel. And she just chugs along. I like it. It gets me outside. Gives me something to do when it's snowing, and I can plan my paths. And what we end up doing is making a track. I'll put up a little link right up here. You can check that out of what we do. Kind of fun. We have a course around here for riding the four-wheelers, three-wheelers, snowmobiles, and it helps you get through winter and keeps you smiling and excited that it's going to snow, and you're not just sitting there all miserable like, oh, winter. But again, the plow truck, oh yeah, have to fire this thing back up again. It's been a little while. Well, I hope this helped you decide a little bit of what you want to do. If you want to see this machine in action, right here's a video, and it'll show you everything you want to see plowing and how it works. It's really an awesome way to plow. Pretty much any four-wheeler with a plow, four-wheel drive, highly advisable. You could get by with two-wheel drive stuff, but you're going to be putting weight on them. You're still going to get stuck. Unless you're only moving no more than 3 inches, I wouldn't bother with two-wheel drive. Well, they made a ton of different models that have plows available for them. I believe Moose made a plow, and like I said, this is High Country, I believe, or Cycle Country. Yeah, this is a Cycle Country plow on this one. So there's at least 2 companies that made them, and they're pretty durable and they hold up well. I like it. This is going to be, oh my God, year 10, 12, 14 of plowing with this thing. All you do is change the oil and put a little more fuel in it, and away you go. So, enjoy, like, and subscribe, Mr. Brian's Amazing World. Go out and enjoy your machines.